mortgage demands have jumped 28%, guys.
Oh my God.
Oh, let's celebrate. Yes, we did it. We did it. I know a lot of you guys who watch my channel. You guys watch my channel, and I see in the comment section, a lot of people say,
Orlando, you're always talking about the bad stuff. Why don't you talk about the good stuff?
and look, I'm talking about, let's celebrate. Put the music on. New mortgage demand of 28%, guys. Oh, yes. But play the band. You guys should be happy. 28% more mortgage demand because guess what? Rates just went down just a little bit. Oh, man. But let's jump into this. It says real estate rebound. Demand for new mortgage jumps 28% in 1 week. Guys, everyone's really happy about these new mortgages that are lower in rate. Went down just a little bit, but how little did it go down? The average contract interest of a 30-year fixed mortgage backed by the FHA fell to 6.26% during the week of January 13th. That's compared to 6.39% a week earlier. Oh man, that's savings. Guys, look, the savings it's crazy. And people are now saying to themselves,
I've got to refinance my home.
and there's no bad news in that, right? Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I'm gonna pull out my notes here, and it's not looking so good, guys. It's unfortunate. I'm being a realist. This isn't fear and doom and gloom, whatever you guys call it. It's just reality. Let's go through the numbers together and see how this is not really a good idea and where some people may fall through the cracks and they're gonna lose their head on this. So let's look at my notes here. On section 34A of your contract that you signed with a mortgage, there's a section that is called the pre-penalty payment section. So you want to know what a prepayment penalty is? A prepayment penalty is if you decide to pay off the loan early up to a certain amount of time, you get penalized for paying off that loan. The reason why we do this is because we don't want you to get out of the loan early and we not get any of that interest that we were promised, you know, for 10, 20, 30 years, and you just get out scot-free. We can't allow that to happen. So we make sure that we charge you a fee if you decide to get out early.
Taxes, beautiful, lovely taxes.
And unfortunately, homebuyer, when you sign this contract with a mortgage, there is a penalty for you paying off this home loan early. And what is the penalty, you say? Well, this penalty is 3%. Yeah, you heard me right. It's 3%.
I really don't need to be up here right now. I'm your conscience.
And I know what you're thinking. In your conscience, you're thinking to yourself, I knew it wasn't gonna be this easy to refinance my home and get this lower interest rate that is only 0.15%. But I'm here to tell you, you can get the low interest rate of 6.2%, but you only have to pay us 3%. But hey, listen, do not worry, because I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm going to finance this for you. Don't worry, you won't have to even come out of your pocket. I know, I'm such a good banker. So let's go over some numbers here. So if you decide to refinance this $300,000 home, don't worry, we're gonna refinance pre-penalty payment fee into your loan. It's just gonna cost you on a 30-year term for a $300,000 home. That fee will be $9,000. And then on top of that, over a 30-year period, it's gonna cost you around $20K. If you decide to do a 15-year loan with us, it's gonna cost you around $14,085.24. Yeah, so on the first one, on the 30-year, you're just paying us 100% of what you owed us in the fee anyway. And the second situation of the 15-year, it's just gonna be a little bit over 50% that you're giving us back. Yeah, it's a great investment for us, and yes, you're losing on that one, but hey, you won't know because it's buried into your monthly fee. Right? I know. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And you know, you're gonna have to pay some title fees and closing costs to refinance. That's probably an additional $5,000-$6,000. But hey, we don't really care about that. That's a fee that you're gonna have to come up with. We will not refinance that. You're gonna have to come up with that portion yourself. So in some instances, some banks, not us, but some banks will refinance and wrap that in there. And hey, you know, at the end of the day, you're just going to end up paying, you know, 300% over the span of the 30 years. So yes, anyway, back to the video. I'll let Orlando continue the conversation. Guys, listen. I know I'm making fun of the situation, but the truth of the matter is, guys, listen, that's truly how it works out. At the end of the day, you're going to end up paying way more with doing these refinances than you would if you just would have waited. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, we can do all of this math manipulation, and trust me, the bank is going to be better at it than you are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But the one thing that is not going to change is the amount that you paid for the house. You can refinance 20,000 times and the price you paid will never change. And that is the point that I'm trying to drive home. And the reason why I put in that skit and whatnot is because the truth of the matter is you should be going into this thinking to yourself,
I want to get the best deal that I possibly can.
purchase price. Who cares about the interest rate? A lot of these guys are purchasing 6 months to a year ago and they overpaid for the home and they're celebrating because they're getting 0.15% drop in the interest rate and they're going to spend boatloads of money to do this. Can you imagine on the other side, these guys are making purchases and they see a little drop in interest rate and they're deciding, okay, this is the time to go. But you're still overpaying for the home.
This is a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
And the interest rate, again, does not matter, guys. We want to get in to buy a home at a good purchase price, not trying to buy an overpriced home with a good interest rate or a mediocre interest rate. And to be honest with you, compared to where interest rates were before, I mean, interest rates really aren't that, I mean, they're meh, you know, they're in the middle. They're 6%. I mean, let's look at interest rates right now. They're at 7%. Let's look at it right now. A 30-year fix nationwide is at 7.02%. I mean, come on. That's still high. Yes. Can you get, you know, that 6.5 somewhere or something like that? Of course. Is that going to push you one way or the other to buy an overpriced home? 0.5%? Because if that is the case, then you should have bought at the highest point regardless. I mean, prices are somewhat coming down, but they're still high. And guys, I want you guys to remember, even though my videos, I try to keep them entertaining. I try to throw in all of this good information mixed into, you know, a lot of this is reality based. This isn't conspiracy theories. This isn't, you know, me making stuff up. This is actually what's happening in the market.
Too legit to quit.
You know, a lot of times people will leave comments on my channel and say,
Orlando, what are you talking about?
and you got to remember, this is all reality. You may not want to believe it, but when you decide to go purchase a home, when you decide to refinance a home, you're going to run up against this anyway. So you might as well prepare for it. Now, as it comes to the pre-penalty payment, I do want to mention that we're mostly talking about conventional loans because a lot of these VH, the government loans, they don't allow pre-penalty payments. So I'm primarily talking about the conventional loans. But here's the thing. The conventional loans are the primary suspects when it comes to people overpaying, getting away with no inspections, no appraisals. Those conventional loans allow those things to happen. So now we're starting to see that even though you got into those loans, even though you decided, I'm so happy that they're allowing me to do this. Now, when you try to refinance, you're stuck in these loans where you have to pay 3 to 4% in a penalty to get out of the loan. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, isn't that only for selling? No, if you get rid of the loan, and even if it's a refinance, you still have to pay that pre-penalty payment. So you can't get away from it. And I know a lot of real estate agents were telling you,
Oh yeah, you know, date the rate, marry the house.
They were telling you guys that, and then when you find out the date is a little bit more expensive. The date is a little bit more expensive than you thought it would be. But once again, guys, you will not get all of your information from this video, guys. You will not. I need you to watch this video here. You will learn how to get into your first rental, housing market news, financial news. I promise you, you will get all the information you need. I will see you on the next one. Thanks.